Hey everybody, welcome to another Merlin the Mighty podcast.
Hey guys.
It's Merlin here. I got Dan with me.
How's it going?
Dan reviews it, and he had an interesting topic to bring, kind of impromptu, that I did not know about.
Yeah, I saw this and I thought instantly this is a Merlin channel topic.
Okay.
Christmas time. I believe the exact date is December 21st.
Okay.
Fox is releasing Deadpool 2 again to movie theaters, but it is going to be a PG-13 cut of the film. So,
What a strange move.
And you hadn't heard about this.
No.
So here's basically what we know about it so far.
Okay.
We know that it's happening.
Okay.
About a month ago, maybe a month and a half, they released on the schedule untitled Deadpool movie. So, you know, I work in a movie theater, so we got it on our, like, list of upcoming movies, and we're like, what is this? Like, let's figure it out. And there was kind of nothing on it. And so, the other day, I just thought of it again. I was like, I wonder if they updated anything. And here, so Ryan Reynolds has filmed some new scenes for this movie. To, I guess, tone down some of the aspects, and do other scenes in different ways or whatever. But then also there's a whole new framing device for the film that Ryan Reynolds himself came up with. Now you've seen The Princess Bride.
Yes, of course.
I watched it with you once.
That's true.
So good old Fred Savage is on board. He played the little boy in Princess Bride whose grandfather is reading him the story. So he is going to appear in the film in these framing segments with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool reading him the story. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to be able... It's funny, right? You first hear PG-13 Deadpool 2 and you're like, this is stupid. But then you hear the framing device and you're like, okay, this might be something. So I guess what they're going to do is basically anything that maybe they're not going to be able to reshoot because, say, Brolin's not available or whatever, that's too violent or too... There wasn't too much sex in Deadpool 2, but I would think violence and language is the main things that's going to make it. But so then they just trim that down to, you know, Ryan Reynolds Deadpool telling him about it instead of actually showing the scene. And then they filmed a bunch of other sequences to sort of fill the void.
All right.
So, I guess A, initial thoughts.
Okay.
And B, I can tell you sort of the rumors that are swirling around about why they are doing this.
Well, that was my first thoughts about it when you told me this, I was a little confused, like, well, okay, you said untitled Deadpool movie. Well, I feel like it's too soon for Deadpool 3, but
that's what we were thinking.
But what if there is some secret, like a 2.5 or short film, like, okay, promotionally, this could get people talking. All right. But then I'm like, okay, a PG-13 release. All right. That kind of sounds like the reverse that a lot of the promotionals do. Like, remember Anchorman, they released the extended.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I thought of. They did the Anchorman extended.
Is it like a Deadpool joke? Like, okay, let's reverse it because there was the whole controversy about making it R-rated and they pushed for it. So let's just release it as a joke and see how it does. And but if they're adding in more scenes and there's a different framing device, I'm actually more interested in that. Like, maybe it could...
I definitely was once I read that.
But this is the thing. It would have to be different enough to warrant me going out to see it in theaters.
Again, right.
So, that's the big difference. Like, obviously, they can't make a whole new movie, but, I mean, if there was enough of a change, it could be interesting to see.
Right.
It seems like a very Deadpool thing to do. The story, the framing device, play on Princess Bride, like, very meta. Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst idea.
Okay.
I mean, it's not...
I didn't think so either, because of all properties to do it, it does seem like Deadpool makes the most sense because it's so tongue-in-cheek and so self-referential and so meta that, like, I mean, they could do a lot of different things with it since they are so fourth wall breaking that, like, it might work in certain aspects.
Well, I wanted to ask one question, though, because I was curious. Was this something that was planned before the merger?
Okay.
That was my question.
Here are all the theories. Nobody at Fox, or Disney for that matter, is really expressing why this is, so it's sort of just conjecture. But I read about 6 different articles on it yesterday to try and glean whatever information I could.
Okay.
Basically,
Intrigued.
Thought one, I guess, is that Deadpool 2 made something like $40 million less worldwide than Deadpool 1. So they're trying to get it over Deadpool to be the highest grossing R-rated film of all time.
That's kind of cheating.
Kind of weird. Okay. So that's, I kind of throw that one out. I don't know about that.
That's a cheat.
The other ones make more sense.
Okay.
One theory is, well, this could be a way to introduce Deadpool to the larger scheme of things with the Marvel Universe, or the X-Men franchise, for that matter.
Maybe.
In making him a little more accessible to families and studio marketing people.
Especially if there was a scene or two in there that could be different.
Correct. So that's sort of something that definitely makes sense.
That would make sense, yeah.
Something else that I thought made sense was that China specifically, because China has become this huge market. China specifically has decreed certain movies are not to be shown. And I think in 2017, I think there were 4 major releases that China just didn't show. And the article I read didn't seem to indicate whether Deadpool 2 was one of these films for this year, but it might be a way for certain studios to test that they can release different cuts of the same film to different territories.
Overseas, yeah.
Overseas. So you release the R-rated Deadpool here, but make a PG-13 one for overseas. You can release both of them on Blu-ray on the same disc or whatever, so fans can watch what they want.
To see how much it'll sell.
But so that was one theory. And then the thing I thought of immediately, that you sort of mentioned and that one of the articles did broach, was the whole Disney thing. I thought to myself, well, originally I didn't know who was releasing it. I didn't know if it was Fox or Disney. It is Fox. Okay. Because the merger, I guess, hasn't been official. Yeah. But so when I originally read it, I thought, okay, Disney's trying to test the waters with the PG-13 version to see how it goes. That doesn't seem to be the case because Fox is the one releasing it. So, the other sort of thought behind Disney is Fox is making one last attempt to squeak some money out of the franchise before Disney takes over.
Well, what about the Phoenix saga with the Dark Phoenix? Because I believe that one's still being released, right?
I guess so, yeah. As far as I know, yeah.
That's going to be pure Fox, I'm sure.
I would assume. I don't know when the merger... I don't know when things are going to technically change hands to Disney Fox.
There was a big rumor that movie might be cut, but I was like, that whole thing was filmed and nobody's going to try and get a profit out of it.
Right.
So that might be the last official.
That's May, right?
Or
March? I think it might be May.
Yeah, it's early next year at some point, which I'm looking forward to because I think that might be the last X-Men movie of that era. I think so. Of the Bryan Singer era. Yeah.
I think it is May because May is when Apocalypse and I think Future Past came out.
I think you're right.
So I think May would make sense.
So that it's interesting. They'd be testing the waters with the new Deadpool.
Right.
But the future of Deadpool is kind of sort of up in the air.
Well, and they're not doing Deadpool 3.
For sure?
Well, they're going to do X-Force. And so I believe that's sort of what's replacing Deadpool 3.
Which is basically Deadpool 3.
Which is kind of Deadpool. It's like how Civil War was sort of Avengers 3 as it was, you know?
Yeah, it was an Avengers movie.
Well, yes, it wasn't a Captain America movie, that's for sure. He was in it.
For like half of it.
But then so was
everyone else.
Iron Man and Scarlet Witch and Spider-Man. Yeah, everybody was in it.
Yeah, literally everybody except for...
except for the Hulk.
And?
Hulk's girlfriend. Right? Was Scarlett Johansson? No, Scarlett Johansson was in it. Who else wasn't in it? Hawkeye?
No, Hawkeye was there.
Okay. He wasn't in Infinity War, though.
No. That's right. He wasn't.
Him and Ant-Man were the two not in Infinity War.
Yes.
Who else wasn't in Civil War?
Well, think about it. The heavy hitters. Hulk wasn't there, and who else?
Oh, remember? Thor wasn't there.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, he was in Ragnarok at the time. Yeah, of course. Which meant Loki, I guess, wasn't in it either. But everybody else...
Well, he's not really an Avenger.
Well, he may as well be. He's in all the movies, for God's sake.
Spoilers, he's dead now. For the 12th.
Right, well, everybody is dead.
Has somebody not seen Infinity War yet by now?
But so it'll be interesting to see. I'm interested to see how it plays. I'm interested to see if people go see it, because the Anchorman redo did very poorly at the box office.
Yeah, I feel like in an age now where everything, after the initial release, people are trying to get their hands on it, and there's so much streaming. Like, it has to make buzz through word of mouth,
right?
Different enough, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll turn a profit. People will go see Deadpool again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, on one hand,
I'm intrigued.
PG-13 might bring in more of a crowd for some parents, but the main audience for Deadpool is the hardcore fans that know he's R-rated.
I'll be dead honest, though. I will be able to bring my 13-year-old nephew to it. He knows he's not allowed to watch Deadpool until he's 16.
But you could show him the PG-13 cut.
Why not? It's PG-13.
But then
his parents won't care. My sister-in-law won't care. And that's the thing.
That's interesting.
I think it will bring in a lot of. I mean, look, I work at a theater, and parents bring their 4-year-olds to Deadpool because they don't care. They bring their 4-year-olds to The Nun. But, for parents that care about that sort of thing, like, my brother and sister-in-law.
It's a good chunk of people, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will be allowed to bring my nephew to see Deadpool 2 now.
But the interesting thing about that is, how much of a difference will it really be? Like,
I don't know. Because obviously violence doesn't really matter for PG-13.
Even Deadpool is mostly cartoony.
I think it's going to be mostly language. Yeah, I mean, they can still do all the stuff with X-Force. A lot of the battle scenes they can still do. I mean...
So, I mean, I don't know if that would really affect it that much.
No, but...
Personally, I mean...
But they get that rating.
Rating system is something we always kind of complain about. It's weird.
But they do curse a lot in Deadpool, too.
They do, but I don't know if that would really detract from it too much. Maybe a little bit.
No, but you know how the ratings are with the cursing.
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't think it'll detract that much, really. Especially if, I mean, you have to imagine some of these scenes, he probably, in mid-scene, even if it's not part of the framing device, turns the camera and says,
hey.
Well, here's where I say the F word 5 times.
And if he just says that instead of saying it.
Right. You can do it. You can get away with it.
Yeah, technically you can.
Yeah.
And parents may not like that.
They may not, but they won't have a choice. I mean, a 13-year-old could buy a ticket by himself and walk right in.
Just a weird experiment.
Yeah.
Almost.
It is kind of... The last time I can remember something like this was before I was even born. Saturday Night Fever did it.
Really?
With, the John Travolta movie was R-rated, and they ended up releasing a PG cut like a year later.
Huh.
This is before home video, of course, but for the people that couldn't see it the first time because it was too whatever, they did a toned down PG version of it.
Have they done that for other movies?
I mean, that was the only example I could really think of. They probably have, but it's got to be few and far between.
Now, usually they like to re-release the unrated cut on DVD.
Correct. Usually they go right the other way and unrated.
Some raunchy comedies like Superbad or something is the way they do that.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Very different. I don't know. That would be curious to see. I think the big thing is if they release it, there has to be something different enough about it. Maybe there's a surprise. Like, there might be some scenes that, even though it is edited down, but different enough that would compel me to actually go watch it.
Yeah.
And that's the big question I'd have. Like,
maybe Jackman shows up.
Maybe he's...
I mean, they're buddies. Who knows? Honestly.
Yeah, maybe they'll actually have like a real Disney reference, like one of the Avengers shows up.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, I'd be like, oh shit.
They could.
But I'd want that to be a surprise in the movie.
Right. That's the thing. Listen, I'm going to see it, whether it's because I'm taking my nephew to it or otherwise. I would like to see it because I'm curious.
Okay.
And I bet I'm not alone.
No, I don't think you are.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I'm surprised I didn't hear about it. When did they announce that?
We saw it on the sheet probably like a month and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
And then I just sort of thought about it again the other day. So,
well,
yeah, I'd sort of forgotten all about it, but interesting to say the least.
Good topic, Dan.
Thank you. Actually, what got me thinking of it was you probably don't watch much TV, but Hulu's been running the Ryan Reynolds ads for that Toon Blast.
Yeah, those commercials are strange.
I think they're hilarious.
Like I think it's funny. Like he's so obsessed with this game, this app or whatever, that he's got a guy who's his arm, and they're like,
right,
they're trying to film a movie. It's like
his hands are too busy on the app.
The fact you're not using your actual arm is becoming a problem for the set. Oh, it's fine. Just use my arms.
Yeah.
Like,
there's like 8 different versions too that they made.
Yeah, they're interesting.
He apparently is really into the game for real.
Well, that's cool. So he's actually really advocating something he likes.
I believe so, yeah.
I know that's probably oftentimes not the way it is, but I like it that, actors or whoever is doing a show, if they're promoting something, they actually like the product.
Believing, yeah. I like that too.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Be cool. I think some people can pull it off, like, what is it, McConaughey?
Yes, he does the Lincoln.
He just
Lincoln
does like
ads.
some vague narration about being a man, and then he's driving his Lincoln.
Like, oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get away with it.
Mud.
Oh, what a movie.
Good movie.
Oh, yep, Mud. There's a review.
If I remember correctly, first movie reviewed on Film Fanatics.
It might have been.
Or at least one of the first. I don't think it was the first we watched, because I think that was Lawless.
Yes, Lawless was the first one. But I think the first one we reviewed for the show, for New Classic, was Mud, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Movie. Good times.
Yeah, A+ for me.
Up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like Joe.
Yeah, it was the same movie as that Nicolas Cage movie, Joe.
Yeah. I like that one too.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good, man. Give you a brief plug for your channel, what's been going on.
Yeah, Dan reviews it, always reviewing these, the Connors episodes now, as Roseanne is dead in the water. I do want to get to some other, TV things. I've been talking about some 90s nostalgia TV things I'd like to get to.
You said that you wanted
maybe someday.
Nickelodeon.
Some of the old Nick shows, some of the early Disney shows too, like the Raven. That's a Raven.
That's a Raven. People
I feel like the people that watch YouTube a lot now are in that sort of age range. They grew up with Hannah Montana and the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And it would be interesting
in like 20s
to review it as an adult, never really having watched a lot of it as a kid, but I like
that sort of thing.
Kid shows and animated movies and that kind of thing. So like
your perspective would be unique.
My perspective, I think, would be interesting.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Yeah. No, I'd say go for it. Honestly,
so
I'd be curious to see what you think about some of the. One that'd be topical for you because they've got the new show on Netflix.
Is the original Sabrina?
Yes.
Which I do have the whole box set for.
Because I watched a little bit of that, and I always thought that was kind of funny.
I did too. Yeah. I like what's-her-face, Melissa Joan Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And I have her Nick series on DVD as well. Clarissa Explains It All.
Be curious to see your thoughts on Lizzie McGuire and stuff like that.
I know. And some of it's hard to find because Disney didn't release a lot of their shows on DVD. But
yeah, it's tough to find some sets.
Or they'll be like best of, and there'll be like 4 episodes on a DVD or something. It's like, all right, it gives you a little sampling, but I used to like that stuff. Lizzie McGuire, that was a good show.
Well, they'll release, the ultimate Blu-ray,
they should,
and then make a buck. I think they just have to hold out.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, original Sabrina would be interesting. Yeah, there's always stuff popping up on Netflix. I'm like, oh, that would be cool to watch. But then it's like, by the time I get to it,
there's something else.
And it's already been like a week old.
Oh no,
whatever.
Dude,
it's so hard to catch up on Netflix.
Just stick for the stuff you like. I mean, Connors will keep you.
Yeah. I mean, my original episode of that this season got 17,000 views. So
yeah,
by far the most on my channel. But yeah, so that's what's been going on.
Yeah,
Dan reviews it.
Keeping up with that. We did figure out our schedule. Or our theoretical schedule. I was trying to remember what it was all. What would it be?
It was going to be
the dream schedule for a while.
Mondays.
Mondays.
Mulder Mondays. Yep.
I couldn't figure out Tuesday.
Tuesdays was what was it?
Was it Trek Tuesday?
Might have been Trek Tuesday.
Was it Trek Tuesday?
Maybe, or was it Star Trek Saturday?
Shit.
I can't remember.
Well, try to figure this out.
Yeah, Wednesday was
Wire Wednesday.
The Wire Wednesday.
What was Thursday?
Thursday was
Yeah, this is where I think I got tripped up.
I don't remember Thursday because you needed something with a TH. Was it? I'm trying to think of the shows we actually talked about. It wasn't that 70s show Thursday.
I don't think so.
I don't think it was Three's Company Thursday.
No, I don't think so.
Frasier Friday is always a classic. That's always number one.
Was the core.
That's the original. And I think it might have been Star Trek Saturday.
And it was Sunnydale Sundays.
That's right, Sunnydale Sundays for Buffy.
What was I missing?
And then Thursday, we're going to do... Or no, maybe it was Trek Tuesday. We were going to do Sex in the City Saturday.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it was.
Man.
We were doing all the HBO shows. Thursday, or maybe it was The Wire Thursday.
No, it was Wire Wednesday.
Was it Wire Wednesday? Okay.
That's why I couldn't fucking remember.
Boy, I don't know.
That's gonna piss me off because I was going over my head the other day. Like,
were you?
It was a good run.
Did you remember them all the other day?
No, I couldn't. I forgot Thursday. I was like, oh,
Thursday. Three.
It was a cheat of some kind.
It was some kind of cheat.
Yeah.
It might have just started with a hard T as well, like the something Thursday or whatever.
Twilight Zone
Thursday. Yeah, it must have been something.
Something like that.
I don't remember though. That's a bummer.
It might have been a movie series of some kind.
Could have been a movie. 30 Rock Thursday. That wasn't it, but that would be good.
That'd be good.
I'd always rewatch 30 Rock. That's a good show.
It's a good show.
I don't remember, but
Ultimate Lineup.
We would tackle a different show every day of the week. Never run out of material.
Never run out of material.
Yeah.
Constant.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of work, for sure.
Well, hey, you never know.
Yeah, could happen.
I still think Frasier Friday should happen.
I think in some capacity it needs to. I love a Frasier.
I do too.
I just rewatched it like 2 years ago, and I'll always rewatch Frasier, yeah.
It's very rewatchable.
It is, yeah. It holds up.
What's the most rewatchable sitcom? Before we wrap up.
Ugh, you put me on the spot with these questions.
Because somebody mentioned The Office as some of the most rewatchability.
Today, yeah, but in 10 years, I don't know. 20 years, I don't know. I mean, when I think of rewatchability, I think of things I've watched from maybe childhood or teenager up. I mean, I think Seinfeld is still spot on hilarious, and it's not like Friends is still very funny, but Friends is very dated.
Really?
Seinfeld, I don't find is dated in 90s. I don't know.
Well, they don't really talk about technology and stuff.
No, they
too
don't.
much.
I mean, other than certain references, because all the movies they mention are fake. Except
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List and English Patient are the only two.
They talk about Superman, which is before their time.
Superman is
classic.
Classic. And yeah, George Steinbrenner being of the Yankees, but they never talk about like players' names or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I find Cheers also very rewatchable. That's an old favorite of mine.
Cheers is rewatchable.
But listen, look, I'm still watching Leave It to Beaver episodes. I watch Leave It to Beaver once a week, and it still kills me. It's still such a funny show. So it's like I like shows like that where it's not necessarily dated. Like Dick Van Dyke Show, that doesn't age, Other than not talking on cell phones, I guess. Is the big one.
But I think the comedy is still pretty sharp. The value.
Yeah. I think funny is funny. I mean, yeah, The Office is great, but I don't know.
You think it might be too dated?
Will people still be talking about The Office in 20 years? I don't know. It's hard to say.
That is hard to say.
Yeah.
I guess it ended fairly recently still.
Yeah, I mean, it's still really within the last 5? Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. 5 years, maybe?
So it's still very much in the consciousness.
Well, think about How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother was huge at the time, and everybody talked about it. And How I Met Your Mother,
nobody really talks
about it. It's like 5 years later, and it's like no one cares.
I mean, I was never a huge fan myself.
But people talk about it. But
you're right. That was like the big thing, and now it's like it's a ghost thing.
It's a ghost. I never hear anybody talk about How I Met Your Mother now.
Because it's not on.
Yeah, but it's on Netflix.
But
nobody cares, because Office and Friends are on Netflix, and those are the two biggies.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Friends is very rewatchable. But, I don't know. It's a little... But, new generations are discovering Friends on Netflix that weren't raised in the 90s, and they're loving it. So maybe it's not as dated as I think it is. A lot of, high schoolers and college kids love Friends because of Netflix. So
yeah, I know people that didn't necessarily grow up with it that liked it.
Yeah,
that might have been a little young for it.
So that could be a contender for sure too.
It's got a following.
Yeah,
I think older shows do. Yeah. Sometimes. Obviously.
Interesting question, as always, though.
Well, hey, another possible topic.
Yeah.
And we got all there from PG-13 Deadpool.
You're right.
I think we originally said this podcast was going to be 10 minutes. I said
10 minutes, and in my mind, I thought, well, it is me and Merlin, so maybe not so much, but we get the yapping.
It's never a short. What's the shortest podcast you've ever done, Dan?
Ever?
Ever.
Probably my reaction video to Roseanne's tweet. That was only like 6 or 7 minutes.
That's pretty short.
Volatile. But pretty short, yes.
Well,
that's probably the shortest.
But formatting-wise, I don't know if that would necessarily be a podcast.
Maybe not.
I think that's just a reaction video.
More of a reaction, okay.
If you want to get technical.
That's true. So I don't know then. Probably 10 or 12 minutes.
Okay. That's true. Longest?
We did an episode of Film Fanatics that was...
Was it 2 hours?
Well, unedited, it was like 2:10. I think I got it down to like an hour and 50 maybe, or hour 55.
Just don't edit them.
Well, I don't anymore, But at the time I did, and
look, the goal,
mess.
At some point, Dan, I mean, if I can get there by myself or with one guest or with 20, I want to get that classic 4-hour podcast.
Oh, I'll do a 4-hour podcast.
I want to do it. I need to do like a hardcore...
Do a list... Hey, that's when we can finally do our top 1,000 movies.
Dude, we probably could get through it. Could we get through 1,000?
No, that would be longer than 4 hours.
Fudge.
That would be longer than 4 hours.
Because I feel like people usually don't have much longer than that. That's like a long...
Yeah, that's a long one.
That's a long one.
I mean, Sicario 3 review when that comes out.
4 hours. Complaining about every...
Listen, I think if you've got a good discussion
if you've got topics lined
4 hours, yeah, for sure. I would participate in that any day.
I mean, yeah, man. If I could do that, that'd be awesome. But that's good.
All right.
That's good. And I'm gonna wrap it up now. This will be the wrap up segment. Thank you for
thank you for having me as always.
Giving me some content for the channel because it's been kind of a little slow for me lately.
Okay.
I've wanted to get some stuff out, but it's just it's been busy.
Ryan Reynolds to the rescue again.
Ryan Reynolds saves me.
God.
A couple times. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy, and I enjoy his wife, Blake Lively.
Blake Lively.
I love when she's Adeline, and now your camera's about to go too. I think it's definitely time.
It's time to wrap it up.
I think it's time. Goodbye.
Stay magical.